Pisces, welcome to your new moon scope. So, what we're focusing on right now is this energy in Aquarius that's been highlighted by the new moon that peaked on the 27th, around at 7 in the evening, so 7:07 if you're on the East Coast. So for you, this really focuses around the 12th house. This really has to do with like closure, experiences the past, even like ancestors, things that have been passed and buried, things that you thought that you've let go. Oftentimes this can also represent psychological processes, as well as things that are just being excavated, treasures sometimes as well too, but also things that sometimes we don't want others to see. It can represent just things that people don't know, things that we do behind the scenes. So that could be like our prayers that we do every day. That could be our meditation, or just our secret practice, our special regime that keeps us grounded and keeps us going. But this focus is really around something that you're doing that's new, that you're sharing with others, or that you're being inspired to share. But this really is about the uniqueness of yourself and how blessed you are to be as unique as you are. And knowing and highlighting that, and really ultimately using that to your advantage. So really moving forward onto the 1st and 2nd of the month. We have Mercury in Capricorn, and for you this represents your 11th house of associations, groups, unions, friendships, friends, brotherhood, sisterhood, congregations, just places where you, sanghas, for example, communities. So you can see a conflict with the communications around here, and changes in your environment around your self-worth, which is often reflected in your income, and vice versa. So there are a few different money houses, but we're focusing on the 2nd in Aries for you. And the 2nd house really asks you how much you're worth, and are you showing that through how much you're valued, and how much you're valued basically is ultimately shown in tangible quality, or can be, and this is often how we express, or how we receive an expression of feeling like we have been appreciated. And as looking at the 2nd house, this is the income that we bring in to our everyday, and really just to focus on how do we feel about the income that we're bringing in, versus how we feel about the actual role that we're doing to be able to bring in the income that we are, or that we need actually as well. And there may have been fluctuations in this area for you, or for everyone specifically, since 2011, which is when Aries moved in, or Uranus moved into Aries, and shall stay until next year actually. So we've seen a lot of Uranus is about like change and growth, very much an Aquarian quality, so very revolutionary, and very much feeling the need and shocks and changes, being shocked into growth. So we see conversations really around the conflict of talks in community, and how that might impact your income ultimately, and that could be for an opportunity to look at how this can present an opportunity for growth. Then following up with the next day, there's another square with Mercury in Capricorn, so the same conversations around your associations and your groups that you belong to, but this conversation is more conflicted with the Jupiter in your 8th house of depth, of spirituality, of the occult, of really like life and death matters, things that make you feel and think and intuit very deeply. When we think of the eighth house, we think of the phoenix and being reborn, and Scorpio, and that dark, deep energy. But this is also oftentimes where we excavate treasures when you think about gold and diamonds and things like that. So for you, for this year, Jupiter being in Libra has been and probably will continue to be very very evident in plumbing the depths, and conversations around community, and how this may be affecting your ability to plumb the depths, or just being able to deal with your own circumstances that might have come up. This can also represent inheritances and things that happen when people pass away, and really just awareness around the whole life cycle, and feeling a need of finding an understanding. That's also what Jupiter is, being philosophical too. So moving ahead, do a little bit more there. February the 3rd, Venus moves into Aries. So this is, again, more communication around your second house of self-worth and appreciation for that which is and that which is coming in, and almost like flirting with the ability to make more, and to appreciate, to make more through appreciation. So then moving into February the 6th, Jupiter actually goes retrograde. So now we're moving back into a retrograde season. So this is why I kind of was saying in the intro, it's really important to be able to use this energy from the new moon up until the 6th to clear things that you need to clear up, and to be able to manifest that which you, or at least set the intention to manifest that which you want to create by the corresponding full moon in August, new moon in August as well. So Jupiter in Libra going retrograde, Jupiter going retrograde in Libra for you is a revisiting or an analyzation of of the growth and the expansion that you've had so far, in and around the topics of growth, through deep change, through transformation, through life and death experiences, through people passing away, through birth, and sex, and things that make you feel very, very deeply. So we'll have an interesting few weeks around this deep energy, but really bringing in, because right off of the heels of the new moon, so really bringing in the energy of how you're being yourself and how you're using that to your advantage. And this can also be very, very healing as well. So Jupiter does represent healing, and so does the 8th house. So this is almost like an expansion of healing, perhaps, as well. So February the 10th and the 11th, there's a lunar eclipse in Leo, and lunar eclipses often represent letting go, and for you this is your 6th house of daily life, things that you do every day, things and practices that keep you grounded, that keep you going, that keep you in service, which is also represented by the 6th house service. So what you do to serve others, and how you do serve others, and ultimately how you serve yourself. So moving into February 18th, the sun enters your sign, so party time for Pisces. This means that the sunlight and the sun and all of the attention now is focused towards you, and which is the exciting area for you for the rest of the month. Because once the sun enters your sign, then we have a focus on you, ultimately on your identity, who you are, who you represent yourself to be, how others see you. So you're really in the spotlight, what you're doing, how you're feeling, how you're showing up really in the world. Ultimately is really unfocused right now. And then not shortly after that, or not too much longer after that, February the 26th is a new moon in Pisces, and it's actually a solar eclipse. So this solar eclipse is really speaking to beginnings, and beginnings around how you are showing up for yourself, but also for the world. And if you feel comfortable with that, if you feel comfortable with the image that is out there, and if you feel like you need a new look at how others identify you, and how therefore you identify yourself as well, because they're all oftentimes closely correlated. So that's just basically wrapping up the end of your month for February. Just like a brief synopsis of what the month might look like for you. If you'd like to know more about your opportunities and upcoming events, or how planets might aspect you, or what's coming up, if you feel like something's coming up, things are set to shift again in March. So if you'd like some more insight, please feel free to check out my website, www.rawredemption.ca. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great month.